Welcome back, and thank you for joining me again in Bible study. This is our second session on Daniel 6, verses 6 to 27. If you didn't have time to complete the first session and you'd like to, there's a link that's going to pop up now in the top right corner of the screen that will take you to that session. You don't need to do the first session, though, in order to engage in this one. Each session is self-contained and you can carry on as you wish. If you want to read the text again, there's a link below in the details that follow this video for an online version of the reading. You can pause this video if you wish, go to the reading, and then come back and carry on. In case you don't have time to read the reading, here's a quick summary. The prophet Daniel has been trapped. He's risen to prominence in the court of a foreign king, King Darius. And then his fellow courtiers plot to entrap him. They become his adversaries. And he gets thrown into a lion's den. When he's in the lion's den, an angel appears and protects Daniel from the lions. Then his adversaries, their wives and their children, are thrown into the lion's den as their punishment for having tried to have Daniel killed. Now on the screen is an image that Brighton Riviere created of the lion's den. And as I look at this image, Daniel looks completely safe. The floor looks even, and there's no danger at all from the lions that are looking on the other side of the image from Daniel. This is not at all how I would have pictured Daniel in the lion's den. I would have pictured a rough floor, not one that is smooth and lined with stones. I would have pictured the lions to be much hungrier than they look in this picture. Which leads us to the first question for today. How does envisioning the danger that we are about to encounter change our response to it? We don't hear what Daniel thought about the punishment that he was about to receive from King Darius. We don't know how afraid he might have been to have been in the lion's den. I know I would have been terrified. Having watched lions feed at the zoo, there's no way I'm ever going into a lion's den. So take a moment and pause the video if you wish to reflect on how envisioning the danger we're about to encounter changes our response to it. As I reflected more on Daniel being in the lion's den, I began to think about what I'd want to take in with me to protect myself if I was in Daniel's case. Not even those padded suits that are used to train police dogs would protect someone from being in a lion's den. And yet, there was protection for Daniel. That through an angel. From the story, we don't hear that he had any other protection, though. Which leads us into the second question for today. Do you think that prayer or faith or angels, do you think any one of those is sufficient protection in life. I would imagine that we could all come up with times when we feel our prayers haven't been answered in the way we want, or our faith has let us down, or that we've lived through a difficult experience and not felt the presence of a guardian angel. However, we can probably also come up with times when God has protected us in ways that we didn't even think of at the time. Again, I encourage you to take a moment and pause the video and reflect on whether prayer or faith or angels, if any one of those is sufficient protection in life. I noted at the beginning of the last video that the readings for this 4-week season of Advent have been grouped into what I call a season of hope. Together, we'll examine how each reading gives us hope. So each week on the Fridays, we will end with this question as well. How does this story give us hope? Once you've had time to think of answers to these questions, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you didn't catch the questions when they were displayed on the screen, they're also down in the details that accompany the video, so please do check them out there. Please do let me know what you think. And I hope that you will join me again in a couple of days for some more Bible study.